everybody, welcome back to the stream. I hope you guys are having a good end to your weekend and that you're nice and cozy. How's it going while running? I hope you're doing well. Please let me know if the music's too loud tonight or if I'm either too loud or not loud enough. I do actually have alerts and such turned off proper tonight. Hello Anonymous, how's it going? Can I add more days to the weekend? If I could, I would have done it already a while ago. So but yeah, I'm doing all right. I did have a pretty good weekend, I think. I'm also really excited because, yep, that should not have, well, it played for me, but it's been all right. You're thinking about getting a new bike soon? Oh, that's cool. That's exciting. Like a particular kind of bike, or like, because I know like there's like electric ones, or like foldable ones, or mountain bikes, or I used to do a lot of biking, kind of like like for a while when I didn't have a car, I just biked back and forth to work. Just a casual bike. I feel like it's time you try out bike riding. I should probably get one back again. It would actually be kind of fun to do some biking. Might not be a bad way to get some stuff. Some, like... You excited to see me unbox this game? The character on the box looks like me. You know what? Actually, I didn't think about that. But that is, you know, more fuel for the, what's it? The theory that every blonde anime girl is sucrose. How was my day today? It was good. It was good. Pretty low key. We went and did some errands, but we also went out. Suzu and I went out for dinner, and it was like we went to this like really nice Mexican restaurant and had some really good food. Like, oh my god, dinner was amazing. But as Urban mentioned, I am, and as you probably, you know, see from the title of the stream, you guys probably already know I'm going to be unboxing a game. So let me just go over to the screen here so you guys can see it. I do have the hand cam back on. So this is a game called Heart of Crown. I owned, the alert didn't show up on, wait, what? The alert still should show up. Wait, no, the bit alert did show off. Yeah, see, you can also see it in the chat there too. So, but yes, thank you so much for the bit while running. I guess I probably didn't actually say that, and I apologize. But yes, this is Heart of Crown. This is Throne. No, I didn't hear it go off. Wait. Well, thank you for the throne. Wait, what did you do? Hang on. I need to check this now. What did you do? Oh, okay. Thank you so much for the contribution while running. I appreciate it. Very, very much. Thank you. Anyways, so I got the original version of this game at an anime convention a while back. This is the second edition of the game. I paid into the Kickstarter for it. I'll say up front here that this is not a sponsored stream by any stretch of the imagination. I just happen to enjoy this game, so this artwork is definitely reminding you of me. I mean, you know, again, every blonde anime girl is just sucrose. Did I get it from Frosty? No, I actually got it from an anime convention a while back. The sleeves with the thumb holes are very cute. My nails are nice and shiny. Aw, thank you. I'm very happy with, like, this is the same nail wraps I had on last week, but they've kept up pretty well, so I'm happy about that. So, but this is the second edition of the game, and I paid into the Kickstarter at the level where this particular version, you can see it says Jubilee Edition down here. This particular version of it has every single card in here is a holo foil. So that's super cool. I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited to look at the artwork. The artwork from the original game was like super, super cute. It also did come with a couple other things. It came with some, I got a little, I'm not sure what the pouch is actually supposed to hold. Probably the tokens and stuff. Hello, Matthias. How's it going? Thank you for the first time chat. Welcome in. And this also came with the first expansion pack of the second edition of the game. So if we run out of cards to go through down here during the stream tonight, you're too late for your weekly prescribed Sucrose giggles. Hello, Pocket Focus. Clearly not, because I just did it. Hello, CJ. So it came with these alternate version of the artwork for the princesses. These are obviously not holo foils, but they're little, like, thank you. Hello, Poet Pojo. It is not my birthday, but thank you very much. So we have little chibi alternate versions of the princesses. So we have first Princess Luluna Saika, second Princess Lao Lily, South Sea Princess Clam, happy not birthday, thank you, Princess General Flamaria, twin princesses Lane and Xion, and Scholar Princess Bergamot. So the way that this game works, it is a deck builder, and the idea behind it is that you are trying to back one of these princesses in an effort to put them on the throne, because the king passed away suddenly and did not name an heir, and he had a buttload of daughters apparently, and so all of them are in contention for taking the throne. So your job as a player is to pick one of them to back and get them enough, like, political capital, I guess, to put them on the throne. So that's cool. This is the one I waited a year for. I also have some sleeves, some card sleeves, so I can sleeve my holo foil cards, because, you know, you want to very much want to be able to, here, hang on. Hello, Fad. Very much want to be able to protect the shiny cards. You feel like your job as a player is to go back in time and tell the king to leave a will? I mean, you know. So, here, I can, does it say in the back? Yeah, there is actual text on the back, so I'll read that real quick before we get too far into this. So, 7 princesses in line for succession, but only one. Ah. Thank you so much, Twixt, for the resub. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Need to take a moment to grieve Sucrose not playing Granblue? Really? So I was going to put Granblue on the... I'm assuming you're talking about next week's stream schedule. It was on there. And then I was like, yeah, but I want to play more Silksong. So... Oh, also, the... Is it still an ASMR stream? So the ASMR redeems are still active, including our fizzy water, which tonight's is called Mermaid Song, which is a slice of watermelon life with a cherry on top, apparently. This gong is strong. Yeah, we will definitely have more Grand Blue on stream soon. Oh, wow. All right. We're getting straight into it. I'll read this real quick and then we'll pour that water. So, 7 princesses in line for the succession, but only one coronation. Who will save the kingdom from chaos? Everyone begins with an identical deck of cards, but your individual strategy will determine what new cards you pick up to strengthen it. Build your deck up to be the first to crown your princess in the final coronation ceremony and win. You're going to do that? Well, it's going to happen regardless. So let me go ahead here and it's actually probably for the best that we get this out of the way before I actually have the cards out, so that there's no chance of any water splashing onto the cards. So give me one moment here. I'm trying so hard to not like make loud noises. Oh, it smells very watermelon. Thank you for the head pats, Callian. You want banana pudding now? Alright, so that does taste like watermelon and cherry. That is very much what that tastes like. The smell is like very fruit punch-ish, but, well, I mean, like I said, it did smell very strongly of watermelon coming out of the can, but yeah, no, I still smell the watermelon. It's like watermelon candy, basically. Is Polar my favorite brand? It is, actually. Like, because I've tried several, right? Over time, and I feel like it's got a very strong, like a lot of them have very strong aftertaste, but not very, like, the taste doesn't actually like hit on the front end. Polar actually kind of tastes like what it's supposed to taste like, both before and after. So, whoop, hang on, here, we're gonna do that. We did did we do a tier list? I did a taste test. Oh, there's the ada. I knew that was coming at some point, so give me one moment here. Okay, black cherry is top, yeah. There you go. Have I tried a fizzy I didn't like? Most of them I at least like a little, right? There are some that I'm not crazy about, right? But, ooh, wow, there's a lot of individually wrapped bits in here. So, I have the rule book right here. yeah, I can read the story, I think. In the turbulent days, when magic and blade still ruled the world, there was an empire that united the entire continent, putting an end to never-ending wars and strife. That peace was short-lived, however, for the great emperor fell ill before true harmony was certain. And he didn't name his successor. But this world should not be allowed to progress into war once again. You, the Empire's most influential people, have a duty to restore peace and unity to the continent and choose a successor for the throne before the tenuous peace unfolds. The Emperor had no sons to pass the throne to, but, as luck would have it, there are plenty of viable candidates for succession, including 2 direct descendants, daughters of high-ranking nobles. Now it is up to you to choose and enthrone your favorite princess as the new emperor. You must truly test your cunning in order to win the support of the country and defeat your rival candidates. Oh, interesting. This comes with churn order cards. The original version of the game did not. But I can go through more of the rulebook later, I think, if we need more things to like read or look at. But let me see here. You went to see the Demon Slayer movie over the weekend? Got there very early and ended up trying to pick out who else was there for it. Guy walks in and his ringtone is the Zelda theme. Fantastic. We're actually going to go see it, I think, next weekend. I'm actually very excited. So we've got, these are the device. So basically, because there's so like this game comes with all of these like dividers specifically for, like organizing the cards. The first version of the game also had this. It's very useful. So, hello Ing, how's it going? Welcome in, welcome in. So, let me see here. Oh yeah, I can already see these are all very shiny. Oh boy. Okay. We're gonna try to start with the, there's our princesses. Kinda sad you didn't get anything like you did for the Spy Family movie. Oh, interesting. Man, every single card in here really is holofoil, which makes sense. I knew that was going to be the thing, but there's going to be a lot to go through here. Now, granted, there's a lot of copies of each individual card. Okay, so here is our, you still have the card on your work desk? Starting your job tomorrow, so probably we'll have to sleep earlier than usual. That's legit. Okay, so let me see here. Hang on. Somewhere there should be. Like there's a little strip here. Oh, it's right here. Okay. I was looking for the place where it was like supposed to be started. Kind of. It's definitely right there. But, it is giving me a little bit of trouble. Yeah, it's tricky, but we got it. These are so shiny. Oh my god. Like, you can see my monitor reflected in them. That's wild. So, we have first princess, Luluna Saika. So, basically, each one of these princesses, because you are supposed to like pick which one, right? each one has some kind of perk that helps you win the game. So you're supposed to like build up these succession points right here in order to win. Liluna Psycha just starts with 6 of them. So we have second princess, Lao Lily. She comes with a bunch of maids that just... You're thinking of cutesy stuff from Taiwan for your secrets to unbox. Here, I'm gonna start trying to get these into, because I do want to get these things sleeved pretty quickly, I think. So these are inner sleeves. I do also have outer sleeves right here for them to go into, but we're going to start with the inners. So, okay, these ones are not side loaders, so I'm going to go, yeah, I think, yeah, that works. So, Liluna Psycha, right? Yes. Snacks are also good. So Lao Lily comes with how many? Hang on. It should say right there. I think 5 royal maids, and each of those royal maids is worth 2 points. So technically speaking, she gives you more points than Liluna Psycha does. Just it takes longer to get those points. But that's her perk. We have South Sea Princess Clam. She makes all of the stuff in the shop that you purchase for your deck cost less. So I think she reduces the cost by 1, I think. Starting to realize so because these are, so I'm loading them in from the bottom, right? Because with the thought that, like, I am going to take these guys. Here, hang on. I'm cutting that open real quick. Dragon sleeves, yes. So, let me see here. Hang on. There. So, then I will take these full-size sleeves, and they can come in like this, so that we don't have them, like, there's no exposed, although I am realizing why this is slightly problematic now, but that's okay. No, it does still fit, so like the card itself is now not exposed at any point. It's covered on both ends. That's the idea, at least. You've seen a friend do that with magic cards. Yeah, I was hoping to find side loaders, because like that's a little cleaner, I feel like, but the gaming store didn't have them, so I just got the top loaders, and they're just gonna work how they're gonna work. So but I'll just put this one off to the side for now. I'm gonna try to get the inner sleeves on there first, before going back and doing the outer sleeves. But we have Scholar Princess Bergamot. She, if I remember correctly, lets you pull cards out of your discard pile, which is very useful. I think you have to, let me see here. Yeah, you have to discard a card from your hand to take a card from an action card from your discard pile and put it back into your hand. Basically just lets you trade cards. see here. Does the Collider Palace TCG shop sell the site? Oh, okay. Hang on. Let me get back in here. Start up that timer. Okay. Does the Collider Palace TCG shop sell? Yeah, we're gonna say yes. Alright. So then we have Princess General Flamaria. So, she gets to just basically grab some cards for free from the, from the market when you back her. So, she basically claims territory, so to speak, kind of. Oh, they've redesigned Lane and Xion. They used to look slightly different in the old version of the game. They look a little different now. But, so these are the twin princesses, Lane and Xion. And, basically they're intended to be the catch-up mechanic cards. Not to be confused with Catch-Up the Bear. Basically, the later in the game it is, you get more little tokens, which are probably in here, honestly. And basically they let you take extra turns based on how many tokens you have. So the idea is that if everybody else is already backed a princess and you're late to doing that, you can go with these two, and it will help you catch up because you get extra turns, if that makes sense. And then we've got farming villages. So there's a bunch. So these are territory cards. These are the ones you start with. They give you currency to buy more cards from the market with. And you have to have territory in order to back a princess. But if you use farming villages, because that means you're, like, I guess your kingdom is poor at that point, it puts you at a disadvantage. So, part of the game is building up your territories into better territories. I feel like I'm doing a bad job of explaining this, but that's sort of part of it. The Catch-Up the Bear mechanic. When Catch-Up hits the field, all players must comment on how cute he is, or else you lose 7 points. It's true. So, we've got here. I'm gonna go through these real quick. So, we've got a bunch of farming villages. Because there's gonna be a lot of freebies here. But it's kind of a cute little village with a little farm with a horse. Oh, there's so many of these actually. Actually, this is the whole deck. It's not. Orchard. Oh, this is new. This wasn't in the original version. Interesting. Whoops. Okay. Very interesting. So, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll set these aside. Actually, yeah, there's a lot of those. So we'll come back to sleeve the big piles of stuff. I'll try to stick to sleeving the cards that there's less of first, just to start out. So then we have these orchards that are also treated as farming villages. As I just completely drop the cards, which is great. So, what kind of mechanics would a sucrose card have? Lifelink, trample, vigilance. I can talk. I don't know what all of those mean. I'm not well read up on TCG lingo. But yeah, so Okay, so there's the whispers done. Then we have the cities, which there's a lot of these. So basically the idea, again, is that you want to build your way up to having better territories so that you can get more money from them, but also so that they don't cause you to start out with like less points like the farming villages do. Hello Zinko, how's it going? Welcome in. So let me see here, hang on. So we've got more city cards here. Let me see here. How's it going, Zenko? I hope you're doing well. Welcome in. How was your weekend? Go ahead and open these up. Sucrose the Bear. When this card is put into play, you may pick one player of your choice, and they will have their turn skipped until they redeem head pads. Weekend was good. How was mine? Mine was very good. I enjoyed playing some Majora's Mask last night. You have no idea what's going on. Wait. Oh, I'm going through. I just got this game. Well, I had the old version of this game, but this is Heart of Crown. It's a deck builder. I had the original version of it. The new edition of it just came out recently, and so I'm going through and unboxing everything. So we have the normal sized cities here. So they're worth 2 gold when you play them instead of 1. And these ones don't cause you to start at a disadvantage in points if you're using them as your territory when you back a princess. Basically, the idea is you have to build up enough money in order to back any of the princesses in the first place, but you have to kind of juggle like building up your territories for money and managing when you want to time getting your princess and which one you want to get. You got to play this like you played Yu-Gi-Oh as a kid, random stuff go. I mean, there are some cards like that. So it's a deck builder, so the idea is that everybody starts with the same deck, but over time you're adding cards to your deck. Thank you so much. Is it Patacardo? Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. And then you have large cities. So these are the most expensive cities, but they also bring in the most money when you use them. There's other mechanics that go with that too. I'm kind of just explaining this in very bare bones ways here. You have the Apprentice Needs. These are also starter cards in your deck. And if you've ever played a deck builder before, these are basically the like the filler cards. They don't really do you any. They don't do you any good to have. They actually, like, you can get rid of them by like adding them to your score pile just to get them out of your deck so you're not pulling them. But if you do that, you're actually losing points that you need to win. But everybody starts with, I think, 3 of them in their deck. And they're super cute. They're super cute little needs. All seems pretty standard for a deck builder. Yeah, you'll see as we go through these. There's nothing terribly, like, unique about this game. It's a pretty standard deck builder, I think. But it's a lot of fun. It's also, like, the artwork is super cute. There's also, like, do I have the Outskirts card in here somewhere? Hang on. Is it in one of these? It might be in this. Because this, I think, is just all the tokens and stuff. So let me open this one real quick. I think this is just tokens. So we have turn order cards, which I imagine you probably just kind of shuffle and people pick, and it gives them their turn order. Oh, we have cards that explain the princesses and give their profiles. I'll go through and read these at some point, I think, before we're done. Art style is easily 11 out of 10. I love it. It's so cute. Oh, and then, okay, so this is basically, so there's a lot of cards in this set, right? So what these are is basically, like, you can, there's like recommended combinations of cards to be in the market, and you can, you know, work with all of those, but these cards specifically right here exist so that you can randomize them if you want to just play a completely randomized game. So basically you would just shuffle and pull a set number of those out. So let me see here. So no, I guess the outskirts cards are probably further into this. There is a mechanic where you can banish cards to the outskirts, and if I remember correctly, let me see if we can just find it in here. Is the outskirt cards not in here? Oh, maybe there's not. I had an outskirts card at one point in the old one. Well, I can just use my old one if it's not in here, but it had a little picture of like of the apprentice maid, and she's just kind of like sitting on an island by herself crying because she's been banished, because this is definitely one of the cards you want to try to banish because it's just filling up your deck and not doing you any good when you pull it, which is kind of sad, but also kind of funny and cute. So you have the royal maids. So these ones you can see are worth 2 points, whereas the apprentice maids, because they're bad at their job, are worth -2. So so these are succession cards. In the second half of the game, you want to be getting as many of these as possible so you can start like getting points towards being able to win. You have the senators that are worth 3. You have somewhere, yeah, there's still a lot of these. The dukes that are worth 6. And I believe, if I remember correctly, you have to make it to 20 points. You are the Senate, yes. There's also curse cards, which are present in some of the games. And these are just garbage cards. They don't do anything, but they fill up somebody's deck. So you can give people curses in order to make it so that they have a harder time drawing the cards that they want. There's also the Imperial Capital and the Imperial Crown. Both of these are worth a lot, so if you have them, it gives you a very strong chance of winning, because they're just worth a lot of points. Okay, so now we're getting into the cards that don't have like a million copies of them. So we have Contribution, which lets you banish a card from your hand. So this would be a card you would play specifically to try to get rid of cards you don't need. And you can see probably here there's a little arrow. It's a little hard to see with the way that the light's hitting this, but there's a little arrow here. So long as you have an arrow on the end of the card as you're playing these, you can keep playing cards from your hand. If there's ever not an arrow, you have to stop. But I'm gonna go ahead and sleeve these guys, because there's not as many of these, so. But it's this cute artwork of a woman, I think, tithing to a church, probably, is what that is. Has a chaining mechanic, yes. So here's our next set of cards. I'm very curious to see like which of these cards I don't recognize, because like I said, I've played the original version of this, but I think they've added new cards in this edition, so we still have more contribution cards. aren't too many of each of these individually because these are the cards that reside in the market randomly. So like you have like these cards where there's a lot of them, so like the maids and the territories and stuff will be like in the market all the time and you can just pick them up whenever, whereas the random ones will be in the limited market, and like over the course of the game it'll just fill up with whatever at random. We have Scouts, which are an attacking card. Let's look at the top card of your draw pile. You may discard or return it to the top of your draw pile, then draw a card. Oh, this is not an attacking card. It's just a military. I think this used to be an attacking card, actually. I think this used to, like, force your opponents to reveal the top card of their draw pile. Now it looks like it's just, like, you can look at the top of yours and keep it or get rid of it. And then you get to draw a card. So, as with any game like this, draw power is very strong, so that we got a little picture of a soldier kind of scouting out an enemy camp, which I think is the reason why it used to be an attacking card. Like, that was kind of on theme, where it would reveal your opponent's cards instead of yours, but I think it might have been one of those cards that was just a little too good for how cheap it was, so rather than make it more expensive, they just made it slightly less good, which is okay. That's still a very good card, I think. There is a slight downside to all of these being hollow foil, and that it is actually a little tricky for the artwork to be seen super clearly in the camera, but hopefully you guys can see these okay. We have the Post Horse, which is draw one card. This was also a very good early game cheap card. The number in the corner is like how much gold that costs. So you can see this was also a 2 cost. This is also a 2 cost. And this had arrows coming off of both directions here, which meant you could play more cards in both directions. So if you had a dead end card, it didn't end your turn necessarily. How's it going, Dino? Welcome in. So we have a bunch of the Post Horses, which is just a soldier, or I guess maybe not a soldier, it's just a person riding a horse, I guess, to deliver a thing, I guess, the card to your hand, so. So what I probably should be doing here, now that I think about it, although I guess I can't until I've sleeved these entirely, now that I think about it. Maybe I should be sleeving them with the full thing. It's the postman on his post horse. Yeah, exactly. But no, I think I'll try to go through these first, and then there's so much plastic. Oh my gosh. Once I run out of space, then maybe we'll try to clean them up. Because there are these little dividers here for like keeping track of everything in the box. The modern country music genre could also be post-horse. True enough, I suppose. Post-haunts. Okay, so then we have the Fountain of Wishes, and this is you discard any number of cards from your hand, and then you get to draw that many. So this was a good way, early game, to get rid of useless cards. And, post-punk. Yeah. I understand. I understood the joke, yes. I think I put this backwards the way I meant to in here. There. I guess it doesn't actually matter that much. You don't control these trains, just gotta deal with them when they come in the station. I understand, don't worry. You're fine. So, we don't have too much in the way of like super fancy artwork just yet, but hang on. There we are. There will... Oh, that's a card I don't reckon. Oh, no, wait. I think I do recognize that, actually. It may have been called something different. This is the Refuge. The first time you play Refuge, this turn, you may choose one non-attack action or succession card from your discard pile. So you can take cards out of your discard pile, put them on top of your draw pile, which is obviously useful for certain situations. Okay, no, I think that is a new card. I don't recognize that, actually. I thought that was a different card. I think that's new. At some point, we will find the cards that have the cute anime girls on them. I promise they're in there. The Rampart, that's what I was thinking this was. So there's like attacking cards and then there's defensive cards. So this is a defensive card, I believe, if I remember correctly. The first time you play Rampart this turn... Oh, never mind. I think this did something different in the old version. You may put the lowest cost territory card in your discard pile into your hand. I mean, that's useful, actually. Helps you get more money. Yeah, that card used to do something different. So I'm already seeing some of the differences. They've tweaked a lot of these cards, actually. I wonder if they changed how defending against attacks works in this version. Because this, I believe the Ramparts used to, like, help basically block attacks done to you. They would basically let you, like, ignore an attacking effect, if I remember correctly. So, seems like... But also, like, the Scout's not an attacking card anymore, so some of the low-cost attacking cards are also gone, it seems like. Oh, the Trading Ship. That one is also super good. So this one was... You can either draw 2 cards or gain 2 gold. It was a dead-end card here, though, so, like, if you didn't have a branching path... Oh, man, it's actually just genuinely really hard to see the artwork off of these because of the holofoil, now that I'm realizing this. Ooh. It's super shiny, super pretty. There we go, that's a little better. But, like, yeah, from certain angles, it's just really hard to see. Okay, so... this was really useful because, like, both of those things are very good. Obviously, drawing cards is super, super useful. There's another card like this that was arguably one of the best cards in the game. That just does the draw 2 card thing, but there are no cute anime girls. You've been tricked and have been backstabbed. I promise there are. We'll get to them. I think they all cost more, for the most part. Actually, I think, yeah. Here, hang on. Let me see here. Battering ram, buried treasure. That's new. Imperial contractor. Magic talisman. There we are, Stargazing Witch. So we do have to get a little deeper to get to the anime girls. I'm gonna move these. Actually, yeah, I do think it's probably time to start. Oh, there's our tokens. Whoops. There's all of our tokens. So, gold tokens. Like the turn tokens for Lane and Xian are in there too. There's other tokens depending on the cards being played. So let me go ahead here. And actually, this might not be a bad way to like review the artwork early real quick, because that way you'll actually, because these ones you should be able to see just fine. No, Sucrose, you are the anime girls, and then Sucrose was a bear. Oh my god. Hopefully this plastic crinkling isn't too loud. So we've got, this is for the princesses. And then, oh, these are in alphabetical order, which actually makes sense. So the princesses go back here. Then we have the randomizer cards, which I'll set off to the side for now. But we have the adventuring party, or the adventurer. The alchemist. This is the one that I was talking about. Wait, did they make that cheaper? I thought that used to be immersion broken into cutie. Wait, what? Wait, what? Oh, is it because my hands are visible? How's it going, Jack Jokers? The alchemist. I think this used to cost $6. No, maybe it did cost $5 before. If it used to cost $6, then that's a weird card to buff. That was such a good card. Apprentice Maids. Attendant Maid. That's new. They're so cute. What? All attendant maids stack in the market. Interesting. Oh, I want to get to those cards. They look super cute. You're good just being a goober? No worries, no worries. I'm doing well, thank you. Okay, so let me go ahead and just, yeah, there's a lot in here, so we're not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna put them all in here in order, and then we're gonna start sleeving these proper real quick. So we've got Lane and Xian. Where was our, yeah, like this, okay. Yeah, I'm realizing the way I sleeved this is actually, I probably should have gone the other direction. That's fine though. So the princesses can go here. Okay, you know what? I'm changing my mind again, just because there's a lot to go through. I'm just going to set these off to the side. We can always come back to them. But I am going to set them off to the side as I'm going through these, so never mind. Never mind. So, more trading ships. We have the battering ram. So this is, I think, this is our first attack card now, because scouts aren't attack cards anymore. So draw one card. Each of your opponent must discard the lowest cost card they're keeping in their domain. That's an extra mechanic. Basically, like, after you've backed a princess, you can store cards for later in the territories that make up your kingdom. So that's what that's about. But yeah, I'm doing well, going through unboxing this card game. I really enjoyed this game in its first edition. I paid into the Kickstarter for the second edition, which I finally got my copy of, and the version I paid for has every single card as a holo foil, which is great. They're super pretty, but it makes it hard for the camera to actually see it. in some of these cases, so I apologize for that, but no, hang on, come in there. Battering ram. We have, okay, yeah, I'm curious about this next card because I don't recognize this one. I think this is a new card, the Buried Treasure. Okay, Buried Treasure. Let me see here. How can I? Oof, this is. No, that's mostly visible. All right. Reveal the card at the bottom of the supply and put it face up on top of the pile. For the rest of your turn, that revealed card is treated as part of the market and its cost is reduced by 3. So basically, the bottom of the market pile where you're buying your cards is to come up to the top, and you can buy it for 3 cheaper. That's interesting. It's kind of a gamble, because like maybe it's something you want and maybe it's not. And if it's not, then you just wasted a card. But if it is, then that's really cool. You get it for super cheap. So, hence Buried Treasure. So the ads should hopefully not be playing for any of you because, from what I understand, the ASMR category should not be getting ads, regardless of what Saribot says. So hopefully that's true, and none of you have ads right now. So then we have the Imperial Contractor, worth 2 gold when you play him. I'm not entirely certain why you would pick this guy up over a city. I'm sure there's probably a good reason strategically, but like the cities basically do the same thing. I'm not sure why you would. Really not. I'm sure there's a reason. I guess some of the cards interact with action cards specifically for letting you like pull them out of your discard pile, where you couldn't do that with territories, I guess. So I guess that's probably the reason why you would do that. Okay. So, whoops. Not working with a ton of space here, so I apologize if like there's sounds of my elbows knocking against something. So, God, where's the opening? There it is. What's cool about the box for this is that this is the reason why they have this little like foam spacer in here, is because they specifically sized this box so that if you sleeved all your cards, it'll still fit in here if you pull out the spacer, because they know people want to sleeve their cards and protect them. So I appreciate that quite a bit. That's super cool. Because in a lot of games, they don't account for that happening, and there's not enough room in the box after sleeving them. So we have the Magic Talisman. The first time you play Magic Talisman, you may choose one of the following. Banish 1 Calamity card to the curses from your hand or discard. Choose 1 action or succession card from your... So yeah, you get to either get rid of curse cards or claim cards from your discard, which is kind of cool. I feel like I'm not doing a great job of explaining this game. It's one of those things that I feel like if you are familiar with deck builders, probably some of what I'm saying makes sense, and if you're not, it probably doesn't. But basically, I might try to like set up, depending on how much time we have. I don't know how long it's going to take me to go through this. Hello, Alex. Have I ever heard of the unisex first name and the last name Casey? I believe so, yeah. Yeah, no, I've heard of the name Casey before. Is this setting up a joke? Hang on. Okay, we have our first anime girl. This is the Stargazing Witch. Ever heard of the unisex first name Shiloh? Yes, I believe I have. So, it's a fortune teller witch girl right there, sitting on a throne. Well, on a chair, I guess. Look at the top 2 cards of your your draw pile. Choose as many of these cards as you wish to discard. Put the rest back on top of your draw pile. Then draw 1 card. You love my laugh? Aw, thank you. I'm glad. I've had several people tell me that, and it actually means a lot to me. Oh my gosh. Spike Kirby, welcome in. Hello. You were doing a just chatting stream. How was your stream? Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for the raid. How's it going? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Guys, Spike Kirby is an awesome artist. They've done several models for me, just kind of out of nowhere, which is kind of wild. Good stream, making your new CV. Your new CV? I'm not sure what CV is, but I hope it went well. I might be like failing a reference check pretty hard right now. But I hope it went very well. Thank you again for the raid. Hello, everybody who came from Spiked Kirby's raid. If you are not familiar with me, my name is Sucrose Yuri Shigeki, also known as Sucrose Collision. I am a grizzly bear VTuber and a variety streamer, and I mostly focus on retro style content when I am not doing ASMR. I do like Metroidvanias, RPGs, platformers, a lot of stuff along those lines. Sometimes old games, sometimes games in the style of old games. And on Sunday nights, we do ASMR content. Right now, I'm going through and unboxing a new game that I got. Well, it's an older game. Thank you so much, gamers, for the resub. I appreciate it. 18 months is wild. Thank you so much. 3 months in advance. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Very, very much. Thank you for the hydrate also. I appreciate it. But this game is called Heart of Crown. It is an anime deck builder. Well, it's a deck builder with anime artwork on the cards. Thank you for the posture check and the head pats also. So yeah, deck builder with anime style artwork on the cards. And it is, this is the second edition of the game. I paid into the Kickstarter so I could get the version where every single card is a holo foil. So you can kind of see it is very shiny. So we are unboxing. I'm going through the cards, showing off the artwork, and sleeving them as I go through them. And so, whoops. And hopefully not wrecking my cards. But yes, Spike Kirby, if you and your raiders need to raid and run, I completely understand. Please take care of yourselves post-stream. However, if you do want to hang out, have some cozy times with a soft-spoken little bear, sleeving some cute cards with anime girls on them, you're more than welcome to be here, and I'm super, super happy to have you. Thank you again so much for the raid. I really do appreciate it. Spike Kirby, if you have a particular ASMR trigger or redeem or request you would like to make, please let me know in chat. Don't worry about your channel points. I like to offer that to everybody who rates me on ASMR nights. This is helping you feel regulated. I'm glad, Riri. How's it going? You know which one you always ask for? Ooh, wait, which one is it? Oh, nope, I know it. I think I can guess. Tell me if I'm right. Okay. I am right. Yes, good. But relevant for anybody in chat right now, this is an ASMR stream, even though we're doing this sleeving and looking at cards. So if there is a particular trigger you are curious to have me do, check out those channel point readings. For a number of channel points, you can request a particular trigger. And let me go ahead. That was lovely. I'm glad. Let me go ahead and do this real quick in order to bring up the list for you guys. So if any of those look like a thing you want to hear from me, please feel free to use your channel points for that. So then we have the City Development card. This is also an extremely good card. Choose one of the following. Pay 1 gold to banish a farming village from your hand, then add 1 city from the market, or banish 1 city from your hand and add 1 large city. Basically lets you trade up your territories. It's very, very good for getting the less useful territories out of your deck and replacing them with better ones. Early game, this card is fantastic. Late game, it doesn't do you a whole lot of good. Because obviously once you've done it, you don't need it anymore. Well, I mean, kind of. It's still useful for a large portion of the game, but in the late game, it's basically a garbage card. I feel like this microphone wire is rattling about quite a bit right now. And the general store is new. I have not seen that one before. That's a new card. It's really interesting to be seeing which cards in here are new to the set in the course of going through everything, because this is, like I said, it's the second edition of the game, so it's... I'm trying to set these aside in the place where they're not going to all fall over. Okay, I think that works. Okay, so the general store, I'm curious, again, because I have not seen this one, and this has, I think, yeah, it's got a little shopkeeper girl in the back at the counter. It's a little tricky to see off of the holofoil, but I'm trying to get it. I think you can make it out pretty well. So choose one of the following. Banish 1 card from your hand other than a calamity card, so you can't get rid of curses with it. Gain 1 coin counter. You may only use this ability if you have less than 2 coin counters. This actually has to interact with something else, I think, for that coin counter to mean anything. Although I think you can just use coin counters at any point. Maybe, I don't remember exactly how it works. But I think we are approaching, this is the last set here, so we are working our way through these. So I can start, I think if I'm looking, yeah, she's kind of wearing, oh gosh, is it Cheongsam? The, like traditional, like Chinese dress? It looks kind of like that's what she's wearing. It's very, maybe you can kind of see it. The card does not want to focus in the camera, but I think that's what she's wearing. It's cute. Absolutely, Urban. You absolutely can. Urban, you are a very, very good boy, Urban. Such a good boy. I know you go through a lot in your day-to-day. Or rather, I know you have in the past gone through a lot in your day-to-day. I don't know to what extent that's still true. But regardless, I think you do an amazing job of making it through day-to-day. You're always such a pleasant presence in my chat. Frogtoy, absolutely. And at the end of the day, regardless of what you've been going through, and regardless of what your day has been like, you are a very, very good boy, Urban. Such a good boy. Such a good boy. We have the attendant maids, which are brand new, and oh my gosh, look at how stinking cute she is. This is attendant maid Lily. Of course, Urban, of course. So, when you buy this card, you may set it immediately. If you have already established your domain, you can pay 3 to put 1 to the question counter. Interesting. So, yeah, interesting. So the attendant maids are new. They were not in the original version. I'm very, very curious to play a game with them. Also, oh my god, how freaking cute. Okay, let me go ahead and get that frog toy briefly here before we move on to the next card. So here you go. Okay, so here is our frog toy. Not sure how good the visual element to this will be, but can, trace a long part of it. Yeah, it's hard to actually get that into the camera frame, actually, but give Gwen, our little froggy, some nice little massaging along his tongue. Soundgarden. Yep. Makes the top of your head tingle when it works. That is the goal. The goal is to give you those tingles. That is, in fact. Granted, I know not everybody gets those reactions. So weird. That is what is considered to be the standard ASMR response is to get, so if I remember correctly, ASMR stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response, and it's the description, it describes, I guess, that tingly sensation in somewhere in your scalp. People report it happening in different places. Some people feel it on the tops of their heads. Some people feel it in the back of their scalp. Some people feel it at the base of their neck. Some people don't feel it at all. It's one of those things that's, I think, not an exact science for why different people respond to it differently. For some people, it's just relaxing. For others, it's like a shiver you can't help. Yeah. Okay. So, this little guy will be here if we need him again later. Okay. Actually, let me put him in the place where he's not going to fall over. There we are. Okay. So, we have more attendant maids here. We have attendant maid Hanukkah. Oh my god. Why are they all so... Well, I mean, I shouldn't question why they're all so cute. They're obviously supposed to be. They're so freaking cute. Oh my god. I love them. I also like that the actual characters in these... for these ones are not holofoil because it lets them stand out against the holofoil background. Makes it very easy for you guys to see them. So it does seem like they each have their own individual perk to having them. So they are, I think, they are more expensive than the Royal Maids, but they seem to all have something specific going on that makes them more valuable. We have attendant maid Minyoung. Oh my gosh, she's got a little wait, no, yeah, no, she does. That's a little dumpling steamer in a tea set. I like that a lot. Super cute, super cute. Oh my gosh. Attendant maid Sharifa Azma. She's holding some kind of bird. Roasted bird, chicken, turkey, something. You had a steamer, but your dad stored it in a plastic bag, and after you cleaned it and set it to dry, got all moldy. Oh no! That sucks. I've never actually owned a dumpling steamer. Or, I guess, just a steamer basket. It's not just for dumplings. But I love dumplings, though. Buns. Okay, we have attendant maid. Is it Futi, I think? Also really cute. She's got a little... I think that is also a teapot, just a different styled one. With like a tray of cookies and teacups. Oh, hang on. There we are. And then we have the library. Okay, I am happy that we have some of these characters now more prominently in the foreground. You can see them a lot easier. And let me see here. The first time you play library, each turn for the rest of the turn, so you gain extra coins for each action card you play. I don't think that used to do that. I think that did something else. I think that's a new effect on that card. That card did exist though, and it was the same artwork of this librarian, I suppose. Trying to pull down a book from the top shelf. Okay, let's see here. Oh, the supply unit. I think can like see some of the text there. But yeah, it's a wagon train. Basically, I think this let you, at the end of your turn, you could pick one of the cards that you had played that turn and stick it in your, stick it on the top of your deck so that you could get it back again immediately. So, obviously, very useful in certain circumstances. Hopefully the background noise there is not terribly audible to you guys. If it is, let me know. I can go close the door. I think that should help. Ooh, that's a different... I don't remember if that card was in here before or not in the old version. The Roused Monster. Is... yeah. Big ol' beastie. Draw one card. Each of your opponents with 5 or more cards in hand must discard one card with a cost of 5 or higher. And if they can't, they have to reveal their hand to prove that they can't. So, that's an attacking card. I mean, obviously. Realize this is much more of a visual ASMR stream with, well, I mean, obviously, that's why I have the hand cam on, but more so than usual with the sleeving of cards. Hopefully it's still good, because I know a lot of people listen into these more than they watch them, but hopefully it's still good. So we have an infantry battalion. Just a bunch of soldiers with their spears ready to go. Each of your opponents with 5 or more cards in their hand must discard one territory card from their hand. If they don't have a territory card, they must reveal their hand. So, makes it so that your opponents have one less bit of territory to use on their turn. Meaning they don't get as many resources on their turn. So, very handy for that. Slowing people down. Okay, I'm out of inner sleeves here, out of that pack, but I do have more, so give me one moment here. Get some more plastic sounds. Hopefully not too loud. Go down here. Hopefully that helps make it less loud. Okay, so a bunch more sleeves so we can keep going. Okay. There will be a bit at the end here where I'm going to have all of these like common cards to sleeve. Depending on how late we go, I might just do this off stream. So that we can kind of go through the other cards instead. I think, maybe. But we'll see. So So we have the bank. And it's a bank. If you've already played a city or large city this turn, gain an additional coin. So, thank you for the wonderful stream, Cozy Bear. You have to be up early tomorrow, so you're heading to bed. Good night. I hope I enjoy my shiny cards. Thank you so much, Urban. Have a good sleep, Urban. Sleep well. Good night. Thank you for being here. I hope you have a wonderful start to your week. Hello, Dr. Smug. How's it going? Welcome in. This is a TCG box set. This is a deck builder called Heart of Crown. So, if you've never played a deck builder before, it's sort of like a TCG, in regard to like the fact that like the cards you're playing are all sort of, you know, cards along the lines of like what you might find in a trading card game. Thank you for the hydrate. Rather than getting your deck built from like opening card packs and like pre-building your deck, everybody starts with the same exact cards. And some of the cards that you get are like give you currency that you then can buy more cards from like a marketplace. And you're slowly over time building up your own deck separate from everybody else's. But otherwise, it plays very much like a TCG. I like them for the reason that like you can get that kind of TCG style experience without ever having to worry about like buying cards. Well, I mean, obviously I had to buy these cards, but without having to worry about like pulling card packs or anything like that. And it's basically because everybody's starting deck is the same. Obviously there is some luck involved, but everybody basically has equal chances, and there's no sense of like, well, this person happened to pull this card out of a particular like booster pack, therefore they have an advantage, right? Everybody has an equal shot at having a very good deck. Didn't think that this existed. This is balanced. There's definitely an element of luck because like you have to, because like, so if I remember correctly, everybody starts with I think 5 cards. Maybe it's 4. It might be 4. 4 or 5 cards that give you currency, and 3 cards that just take up space in your deck. They don't do anything. So depending on your luck when you draw, there's a little bit of luck involved for how much, there's a little bit of luck involved for how much currency you draw at a time and what cards are available to purchase at what time. So some people will have access to some stuff that other people might not, but it's not because they bought a pack. It just is because that just happened to be how the turn happened. Any card game available? Of course. But point being, on paper at least, everybody has an equal chance to have a very strong deck. So this is Cultivation Order. Each of your opponents who does not have a farming village revealed on their draw pile must take 1 farming village from the market and place it on top of their draw pile revealed. So farming villages are the cheapest and weakest of the territory cards, which means if you are forcing your opponents to take them on, you're giving them less valuable cards. Early in the game, that's not very good. That's not very strong. But hello, Caruso. Oh my goodness. Hello. How's it going? I hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. But yeah, early game, this is not that great because obviously people want more resource cards. Later game, though, it's going to stop them from getting the cards that they really need. So It's also worth money, so you get to gain currency while you're forcing your opponents to take on more cards that they don't really necessarily want. Money. It's true. It's true. And then we have, this is another new card. This was not in the original set either. The Flea Market. Has a cute little girl. Cute little adventurer girl perusing said flea market. You gain a coin and you get to draw a card, and it's got the 2 branching paths off of here. So, talked about this earlier, you can only play cards so long as you have an arrow to play them off of. So a branching card like that is actually super good. And card draw is always strong in any card game, really. The ability to get to the cards you want faster will always be good. Why do so many people purchase fleas? Well, you know. Every time I see the words flea market, I don't know. This is like an old meme. This is a very old meme, but I don't know if people are like familiar with the Flea Market Montgomery local ad that kind of hit meme status and went everywhere on the internet for a short period of time. Not for that long, but just hear because it's basically the reason it went like, reason it became a meme was because the owner of the store doing the ad read basically made a little song, like a little jingle, and it was living rooms, bedrooms, dinettes. Oh yeah, you can find them at the market. I'm talking about Flea Market Montgomery. So that just plays in my head. We have the Glamour Witch. Very pretty. I like her. So you can draw 1 card. Each of your opponents with 5 or more cards in their hand must discard 1 action or succession card from their hand. If they don't have an action or succession card, they must instead reveal their hand. For the rest of your turn, cards with the same type as those your opponents discarded cost 1 less to buy. That's interesting. So yeah, you get to reduce the cost of cards in the market and force your opponents to discard cards by playing a sexy witch. I like her. She's cute. I love the artwork in this game. It's very good. Very good anime style artwork. Lots of cute anime girls. I like it. I like it. Okay. So this is the last pack, or not pack, but the last wrapped set of cards before we are... there's the Outskirts card. That's what I was talking about before, with the apprentice maid. So I talked about the apprentice maid much earlier, so if you weren't here for it, one of the cards you start with in your deck, or 3 of the cards actually you start with in your deck, are the apprentice maids. They don't do anything. They take up space in your deck and in your hand when you draw them. They are actually worth negative points if at any point you wind up counting them in your score. So they are fairly useless. And this will not... okay, hang on. I'm trying very hard to get this little bit here to actually... okay, hang on. Just like you. No. Spike Kirby, you are definitely not useless. You are most definitely not useless. Okay, hang on. There we go. That'll work. trying to make sure I can get this unwrapped without damaging anything. Because this plastic does not want to come undone. But I think we've mostly got it. Mostly. Please open. Please open. I would really love it if you just opened. That would be great. Trying very hard to cut the plastic and not the cards. Okay, there we are. That should do it. Okay, there we go. There we go. That's better. Okay, so there's the outskirts card. This is where you put cards that you've banished out of your deck. Oh, it's interesting. There's a day and a night side. No open, right? So we have the Glamour Witch here again. The Royal Guard. Each of your opponents must discard the top 3 cards from their draw pile. Oh yeah, and I guess also, unlike a TCG, usually you are playing this game with more than just 2 people. Granted, I mean, you can play with only 2 people, but usually I think it's up to 4 people. The Curse Witch. Pay 1 coin or banish 1 action or succession card from your hand, then choose one of the following. Each of your opponents acquires 1 curse card, which we've covered before are useless cards that don't do anything, or you can draw 2 cards. Also useful. And it's this witch girl with a unidentified red substance covering her. Don't worry about it. Don't think about it too much. She's got all these little ghosty spirits flying around her. So any game where curse cards are in effect can get a little dangerous because you can get your deck clogged very quickly with curse cards. Then we have the adventurers. So you have this little adventuring party with one of them happy to find a treasure chest full of gold. The other one's like also very excited, and then their healer, I think in the back, is freaking out because there's a monster right behind them. So banish 1 card from your hand. That is not a calamity card, so you can't get rid of curses with us. To acquire 1 card from the market with a cost up to the cost of the banished card plus 2. So basically you can get cards you don't want in your deck anymore out of your deck and get new cards from the market while doing so. It is pretty useful to do that. Getting rid of cards you no longer want and acquiring cards you do, obviously, is a very good thing. So, and then we have the Alchemist, which is one of the best cards in the game. It's a very simple card. She just has you draw 2 cards. But cards card draw is very strong, and this does have an arrow, so you are gaining more cards than you're spending, because it lets you cycle through your deck pretty quickly, especially if you have multiples of them. This is also Susie's favorite card when we've played. She goes out of her way to try to get them. There was one game we played with the original set where she got all of the alchemists, and she won that game. She was just going through her entire deck every turn. Hello, Ian. How's it going? I also do like the artwork on here. You've got our little alchemist lady with her little cat girl apprentice, I guess, in the background, looking very starry-eyed. I think our cats are making a bunch of noise in the background, and I apologize if that's audible. If they are being a nuisance, I can take care of that. You're getting Burger King tomorrow. That sounds awesome. I hope I hope it's good. I like Burger King. Cat rumbles. Is it actually audible? Are you guys able to hear that? I hope not, because it's hopefully not too noisy. So we're getting to the expensive cards now. This is the Imperial Estate. It's really pretty. Got some cherry blossom trees and the estate down in the distance. You had Thai food for lunch today with your best friend. Going on dates with friends is top 10 things ever. That's awesome. Thai food is great, and it's been a minute since I've had some. We had Mexican food. We went to like this nice Mexican restaurant today, and we got a skirt steak with sesame mole, like sesame-based mole, which is like so good. Oh my god. Guys, if you have not had mole, like mole can be varied. Like there's a lot of different, forms. Forms is the wrong word. It's always a sauce, but like there's a lot of different things that it can be made with, and it's always very, very good. But this particular mole was like just very hearty, very umami. Went really, really well with the steak. There's a local Mexican restaurant that your mom eats at so frequently she knows the staff by name. Gonna get some sleep. Have a great night of sleep. Sleep well. Thank you for hanging out. I hope you have a great start to your week. So we have the ballroom, which has a lady and it has several ladies and gentlemen dancing together. Draw one card. The first time you play ballroom this turn, choose one of the following. Gain 1 coin. For the rest of your turn, succession cards cost 1 less to buy. So it makes some cards cheaper, or you can just gain more money. This is also a new card. This was not in the original. The artwork on it is very pretty. I like it. Thank you for the hand pats, Caruso. I appreciate it. We are almost, I think, to the end of the initial cards. Yeah, we are very close to the end of that. So we have the Gossipy Duchess. When you set this card in your domain, each of your opponents must discard the highest cost Royal Maid, Senator, or Duke in their domain. So the Gossipy Duchess, I guess, makes it so that your opponent's attendants get fired, I guess. You know, it's been a while. Glad to pop in. Also very pretty nails. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's good to see you. I hope you've been well. I'm happy to see you again. So I think the next card in here is the last of the set. Oh, actually, there might be. Is it more than one, or is this the same? Let me see here. No, okay, they are the same. So this is Margrave. So it is a gentled man with a hat and a fancy set of clothes. You cannot keep this card at the start of your cleanup phase of this card if you're... Oh, okay. So basically you can't hang on to the card, I guess. Wait, what does keep mean in the context of the game? I don't remember. I think keep means you can store it in your territories. So basically saying you can't do that with this card. But so this is actually really interesting. That's actually super strong. Okay, so basically in the second phase of the game, the second half of the game, after you've backed your princess, you're supposed to be getting these like points, right? You're supposed to get your succession points, which come mostly from these succession characters, right? They're the people who are helping amass political like influence, I guess. Normally you have to choose. Catch up. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in, welcome in. How's it going? How is your ASMR stream? You can see the mic in the card. Oh gosh. Hang on. Yeah, I guess so. Huh. I hope I have not been actually like flashing my face throughout the night. Oh boy. Anyways, it's fine. What was I saying? So normally you have to choose, basically. You either can buy stuff or you can bank your points. This card lets you do both, because after you've played your cards and you've bought stuff, finished up your turn, then you get to bank these points basically from him. It's interesting. It's interesting. Gow gow, gow gow. How's it going, Ariette? Hello, catch up. How was your stream? You thought the mic was me wearing a mask a couple times? Oh gosh. Nope. Nope, it is. It's the 3DO mic. Right here. Not the gow gow, that was cute. Stream was good. You opened a dream book starter deck to read the rule book. Oh, did I put this on? I don't know. I did. A dream book starter deck to read the rule book to learn how to play and tell if cards are good when you open the booster box on Tuesday. Oh my goodness, that's fun. So you were also doing things with cards. That's really fun. How did that go? The more $1 billion mic. It's true. So far you're impressed by the game? That's awesome. But yes, let me say hello proper here. Hello to everybody who came in with Catch-Up's Raid. If you are not familiar with me, my name is Sucrose Yurishigaki, also known as Sucrose Collision. I'm a grizzly bear VTuber and a variety streamer, and I mostly focus on retro-style content when I'm not doing ASMR streams. I play a lot of JRPGs and platformers, occasionally fighting games. And then on Sunday nights, we do ASMR content or cozier content. Sometimes we play games too. Tonight, I'm going through and unboxing this deck building game called Heart of Crown. So here, this is the outskirts. So this card basically is hangs out at the edge of the play area, and any cards that get banished basically go underneath it. They've been banished to the outskirts of the country. And it's double-sided, I guess, depending on whether you want it to be daytime or nighttime. So that's really cute. I like that. Oh, and the apprentice maid. It's actually really sad. Like, she's just like kind of huddled up on the island, just crying. Thank you, Ketchup. But yeah, if you and your raiders need a raid and run, Ketchup, please take care of yourselves post-stream. Please go get any rest you need. If you need to go get something to eat, if you need to go to bed, totally fine. But if you want to hang out and watch me go through some cards, take a look at some cute artwork, you're more than welcome to be here, and I'm super happy to have you. Thank you again so much for the raid, Catch-Up, and as always, let me know if you have a particular trigger you'd like me to do for you. There's some shiny cards. Yeah, so like, because of the, this was a Kickstarter I paid into, and I paid into the level that got me, like, where every card in the deck is a hollow foil, which is really cool. Like, they're all shiny. All of them are shiny. Cardboard unboxing. Hello, Star. How's it going? But yeah, so we've actually gone, well, I haven't sleeved the common cards yet. I need to do that. I'm probably going to do that outside of stream. So I can start now working on, well, here, let me do this. Hang on, there was, I think, where was it? Was it down here? I think it was down here. Yeah, here it is. So we had, whoops, we had these cards here, and these are the profile cards for the princesses. So to explain this game a little, because I realize a lot of people have come in since the start of the stream when I explained it. This game is a deck builder. The idea behind it, sitting here in the hotel lobby after 4 hours of sleep watching the best bear VTuber. Aw, thank you. Star, I appreciate it. I'm sorry you got so little sleep though. How did the tournament go? You were at UFA, weren't you, this weekend? So we have. So okay, let me explain this game again. Sorry. So the idea is that it takes place in like a fantasy kingdom, right? And the emperor passed away suddenly and did not name an heir, and had no sons, but had a buttload of daughters. And so your job as a player in this game is to pick one of the princesses. There are 6 of them in the base set. Technically 7, I guess, because these 2 are twins, but they count as one. You pick one of the princesses, and you are trying to get them on the throne, basically. But we have our different characters here. So this is first princess, Luluna Saika. Just look. Haven't they turned out beautifully? Oh boy, we're about to get some anime age bullshit going on here, I think. Oh. Don't think about it too hard. Apparently she's 16. And just has those, assets, I guess. I don't know. My approach to anime characters tends to be add 10 years to whatever the stated age is, and it tends to make way more sense. So, didn't we play this game together? I think we did, yeah. This is the 2nd edition of the game I paid into the Kickstarter for, and it came with a version of the base set where all of the cards are hollow foil. So, tournament went well. You did well, but you'd like to do better. Well, I'm glad you did well, and like, There's always going to be room to improve, right? But I'm glad to hear that you did well. So, let me see here. Her domain is the Imperial Maritalia province. Her hobbies are gardening, and her favorite drink is cranberry juice. Hello, Zen. How's it going? Anime cards, yes. The oldest child of the former Emperor Hellard and daughter to Princess Lumia of the former Maritalia Kingdom. Born and raised in the constraints of Maritalia, where young girls could not take the throne, Lunasika has limited self-awareness as to what it means to be the first successor. Organizing your own anime cards? Funnily enough. Hello, Blazer. However, with her kind heart and bright mind, she's loved dearly by those around her. Her love of gardening continues to grow since entering court, as the beds she has planted in the courtyard bring vegetables and flowers. Need to get some food and go to bed? Too sleepy to record some ASMR tonight? Yes, please go get some sleep. Catch up. Can you have some smooches? Of course you can. Catch up, of course. You're gonna head to bed? Been lurking for a while? Wish you luck with sleep? Of course, Blazer. Sleep well. Sleep well. Okay, give me one moment here. Let me... Good night, catch up. Good night. There you go. Hopefully that was good. So then we have second princess, Laolili. Couldn't Lulu do it instead? So she is 9 years old, and actually looks 9 years old, so that works. Her domain is the Imperial Capital, Kalikuma? Bear Kingdom. My smooches have improved greatly. Aw, thank you, Katja. Her hobbies are collecting plushies, and her favorite food is chocolate. Second child to the former Emperor Hellard, Laolili's mother is a noble of the Empire and Hellard's distant relative. Although still young and only second in the direct line for succession, her mother's high-ranking position garners the family's strong support, and many prominent nobles have already sent their children to court as Laolili's attendants. She was raised away from her half-sister Lunasika, only making her acquaintance recently, but fearless child that she is, the two quickly became close, and the two now see each other as sisters. So we have the South Sea Princess, Clam. If you can't buy it for money, that means it's free. She is 16 years old, from the commerce capital, Phaethon? I think that's how that's pronounced. Her hobbies are money making, and her favorite food is Mau nuts, whatever those are. Second cousin by marriage to the former Emperor Hellard, but of no blood relation. However, with her ancestral home holding the most merchant power in the Empire, the Furian family has strong backing, making Princess Clam a prominent candidate for succession. In fact, the princess herself has several stores under her care and makes a shrewd trader. Her high spirits at work come from her true passion for commerce, which extends to her personal hobbies too. Not only are Clam Clam and Bergamot close in age, but their business paths also cross, making them good friends. We have the Scholar Princess, Bergamot. There's much agitation in the air lately. She is 17. Her domain is the imperial capital of Kalakuma. Her hobbies are reading and alchemy, and her favorite drink is tea. The only daughter of the Friesberg family, one of the dukedoms in the Empire, she is blood-related to Hellard. A prodigy by all scholarly regard, and incredibly accomplished in her wisdom and studies. Finishing top of the class in the Empire's finest alchemy school, the Imperial Academy. Bergamot took up the blackboard chalk right after graduating, becoming an associate professor at the Academy. Although seemingly wanting nothing more than to live immersed in alchemical studies, she has instead been pressed into the succession race by her family. If she were to take the throne, the first thing on her mind would be doubling the Academy's budget. Did I know? Super Mario Bros. Remastered? Yes. Princess General Flameria. We're going on the offensive with me. She is 19 from the Imperial Galleria province. Her hobby is chess, and her favorite drink is wine. Former Emperor Hellard's niece, and a vital part of those joining him in the Second Eastern War efforts. She is a young but powerful soldier. She has entered the succession race herself to avoid the saddening prospect of war should the political balance tip. In the public eye, the military support for her might be overwhelming, but the nobles who are disagreeable with the armed forces oppose her claim. The military brings her their prototypes from the Imperial Academy to test regularly. With her adoration of novelty, Flameria's current infatuation is the state-of-the-art Salamander Mark II, a weapon that uses gunpowder to drive stakes into the ground. And then the last of the base game princesses, or I guess the last two, Lene and Xion, the twin princesses. What do you want to do, Lene? What do you want to do, Xion? We gotta make this fun. They are 12 years old, from the Imperial Alesia Duchy maybe. Their hobbies are fortune telling, and their favorite food is, Lene's favorite food is stew, and Xion's favorite food is mochi. The twins are the current rulers in the self-governed Alesia Duchy, one of the few imperial territories permitted its own rule. Magic and divination have flourished in Alesia since antiquity and still have great influence in politics, giving it a reputation as a peculiar country. While royalty is naturally blessed with exceptional magic, these twin 16th rulers of the duchy are said to hold the greatest power of the royalty to date. It seems that nothing escapes the regional characteristic of decisions by divination, and the pair have decided to enter the succession race after an astrology reading. So, that is our 6 princesses. And I think, so there's a couple things I could do here. I could start sleeving these proper to get them put away, which we might do. That might be, hopefully, kind of satisfying to watch. Or I could open up the, I could also open up the, oof. Yeah, I probably should have done this. You know what? I'm gonna take this out and we're gonna flip this because I do probably should go like this, now that I'm looking at it. I guess it doesn't necessarily matter a ton, but... Oof. Actually, okay, I see why this is also a bad idea. Seems like there's not really a good way to do this. Okay. That's alright. We're gonna go back to how we had it the first time. Okay. Okay, there we go. That worked. So, the princesses are back here. Okay, that's not that bad, actually. That actually works okay. So there's La Lily again. I should probably be calling these out as I'm sleeving them. That should work. This would be the reason why side-loading sleeves would be better, but unfortunately I didn't have any, so I just gotta work with what I got. It's okay. We have Lunacyca again here. Trading ships. I'm actually curious. Let me try this again one more time. I think maybe there's a way to make this work this way. Yeah, there we are. So our trading ships, this should be in order of, yeah, this is in alphabetical order. So our trading ships go down here somewhere. QRS. Oh, wait, are there more? Nope, there they are, trading ships. Okay. So, do that right there. See if I can make this work, so hang on. Okay. Why is this so much harder this way? If I put it down like this, though. Yeah, there we are. Although I guess, now that I think about it, there really isn't much difference. Well, alright, it's fine. Yeah, because if I put this in this way to start, hang on. Why is this so much harder suddenly? These, okay. And then we do that like this, I think. Yeah, it doesn't actually matter, really. Okay. Oh, wait a second. I put that in the wrong way. There we are. Yeah, there is a little bit of a thing that happens at the very end here where this inner sleeve kind of wants to come off, and I don't love that. might need to ask Prism for some advice on how to do this, because I think I'm doing it wrong. And I have a feeling that she will be a lot more wise in the ways of doing this. Unless maybe I'm literally just supposed to do it like this. Like just double sleeve it like that. I can't imagine that's how it's supposed to go though. But, you know, whatever. I might have to re-sleeve these. It's fine. It's not a problem. Okay, so we have the ramparts. If anybody is familiar with double sleeving cards like this, if you can let me know if I am doing this wrong, I'd appreciate it. So we've got the ramparts. Where are they at? There they are. The other thing I could do is I could kind of like set this up a little bit just to show how the game would normally be played, I suppose. Although, I guess getting to the end of sleeving the cards would be maybe smart. Although, some of this is stuff I could do off stream, I think. I don't know. I honestly don't know how satisfying it is to watch the cards get sleeved like this, but I'm hoping it's nice. I'm hoping it's enjoyable. Yeah, let me do that actually. Oh, first off, there's where the, I don't think I need to sleeve these ones. This is just the randomizer cards. They're not holographic. I believe they sit back at the beginning here. No, where do the randomizer cards go? Where do they go? Hang on. Oh, right here. So I think, yeah, they can go behind the princesses, I suppose. Right there. In any case, so basically, if I remember correctly, we would have this set up something like this. I'm hoping this will make sense. So you'd have the market in the middle here, and you'd have a supply deck right in the middle, right? And this is where you would just be pulling cards to make up your market, and then your market would look something like this. So like, I'm just gonna pull some cards here that are all different from each other. Hello Rex, how's it going? Welcome in. So it would look something like this, right? And you would have all of your cards out here in the market. And then you would have, there's also be like the basic market over here with like the maids, all the succession cards here, the territories, stuff like that. And they would be lined up here. It's going alright, just got done with the session of 2XKO. I hope it was fun. I played some of that this weekend. I think I've decided ultimately that the game's not really for me, but that's okay. I'm doing a bad job of explaining this game. But like, you would play out the cards in your hand, and after you've played all your cards out, you then would take however much currency you've made. Like, let's say you gained 5 coins, right? And then you could purchase cards from the market here based on how expensive they were. So let's say I had 5 coins and I wanted to get a scout and a post horse, right? That's 2 and 2. So I'd be spending 4 coins. I'd have 1 left. I can't use that 1 for anything, so that 1 coin goes away. But then I add these cards to my deck, and the next time I draw them, I can use them. Basically, I'm doing a terrible job of explaining this game, but hopefully that makes sense. Anyways, I just realized in the middle of doing that I just don't really have space to really do this proper. So I think I'll go back to sleeving again, I guess. Hopefully this is enjoyable for you guys. I really hope it is. They look pretty. Yeah. I'm glad. I really, really like the artwork on these. So just go, yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll go back through and kind of like look through the artwork again. So we had the Gossipy Duchess, which I enjoyed that card. The ballroom was really pretty. What else did we have here? The Alchemist. Always love the Alchemist. The Adventurers are fun. The Curse Witch. Very pretty card. The Royal Guard is nice. The Glamour Witch I also really like. Let's see, was there any others? The ramparts, or some of these are just buildings. I think these were all just like buildings and items. Yeah. Where were the attendants were really pretty. They're like really, really cute cards. I think they were further down in here, I think. Maybe? Yeah, they were 4 costs, I think. They should be here somewhere. I think. Library. Yeah, there they are. These guys were really cute. So you have the individual attendant maids. You have Futi. Sharifa Asma, Minyang, Hanukkah, and Lily. All super, super cute. But let me see here. Are there any other super, super pretty cards? I mean, there were for sure. The Stargazing Witch I also really like. I feel like you get lost in glazing the quality of the cards if you're playing the game. I mean, you know. I think actually playing the game is like you get into the speed of it pretty, or like into like the flow of it pretty easily once you get going. But there we go. I've actually cleared space again here, so I can bring this back up and we can get back to sleeving cards so that we can get them back into the box. So I've got the city development cards here. I'm gonna do them like this because I just think that's going to be the easiest way to keep them from... Again, this might not be correct in terms of how to do this, but city development, there it is, right there. But again, hopefully the act of sleeving cards and looking at them is satisfying enough. But also I'll just keep on chatting with you guys while I'm doing this, so there's also that. So I realized I didn't actually ask the question yet tonight. But did you guys do anything cool over your weekend? Anything particularly exciting? Any yummy foods? Any fun places that you went? Any particularly interesting things that you did? On my end, I don't think we didn't do a whole lot yesterday. Obviously I had stream in the evening. Played some Majora's Mask. Otherwise, we kind of just stayed around the house. You donated blood. Not very exciting, but it was nice. That's like super admirable. I hope it went well. So I have to have blood work done fairly regularly. Not like super regularly, but fairly regularly. I have monthly appointments I have to do. And I always get very, I can't look at the, can't look while they're drawing blood or I will faint. But if I'm not looking, it's okay. Although I am usually pretty lightheaded afterwards. Usually have to take a couple minutes before heading out. But, you know, donating blood is awesome though. Like, it's not a thing I've ever done. But again, I get my blood drawn a lot, so you would spare the extra pack for your Oshi. Aw, Akira, I appreciate it. But no, that's super admirable. Let me see. I played a lot of Grand Blue over the weekend, which of course I always do. That's probably not surprising. Are all the college? They are. Every single one of them is a foil. Every single one. Thank you for the head pats, Dr. Smug. Yeah. No, that was part of... I mean, I wanted the second edition of the game anyways, so that you know, obviously that was part of paying into that Kickstarter because I wanted it. However, I paid into the tier that I did specifically so I could get this version. Right, the Fountain of Wishes should be the general store, the flea market. Wait, am I missing the Fountain of Wishes? Where is it? Hang on. Thank you for the hydrate, Akira. I appreciate it. Double sleeving them? Yes, I am in fact double sleeving them. So farming village, flea market. The fountain should be behind flea market, but I don't see it. Is it out of order for some reason? Or is it just not in here? Wait, hang on. Is it called? Nope, yep. I know why it's here. I know why it's back here. I know why it's there. Because in the original version of the game, the 1.0 version, this card was called the Wishing Well. So they put it all the way in the back. Because it used to start with a W. That's really funny. Okay, so, yeah, that one's sleeved. Okay. hands are cute as heck. Aw, thank you, Ketchup. I appreciate it. Very much. Okay. So I've never actually double-sleeved cards, so I don't know if I'm doing this wrong. I thought at first that I wanted to, like, you know, sleeve them in opposite directions, but then when I was trying to sleeve them, the inner sleeve kept coming loose, or like kind of pushing out. So instead I'm sleeving them in the same direction, but I don't know if I'm supposed to do that or not. I feel like maybe I'm not, but also, like, I don't know how else to do this without it getting, like, very, like, messy and potentially damaging the card. I don't know. So I'm gonna do it this way, and if it turns out I'm doing it wrong and I need to re-sleeve them, I'll re-sleeve them at a future date. It's fine. But have you ever re-sleeved, or not, sorry, re-sleeved, have you ever double-sleeved cards, Ketchup? Is that a thing you've ever done with your cards? Mostly I just want to know if I'm doing it right. The wishing fountains. Do the Stargazer Witch. I guess it maybe doesn't matter. You're not sleeve wealthy for such a thing. I mean, they weren't that expensive. I mean, they did. It did cost me some money, obviously, to get it. But okay, so it would be after R, because QRS. Royal Maid, Scout, Stargazing Witch, right there. You've re-sleeved cards somehow. Only to finally somehow still editing them. I mean, there's only so much you can do. At some point, if something's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. But I do want them to stay as protected as they can be. Hopefully, I'm doing a good job. But yeah, like I said, played a good bit of Grand Blue this weekend. Played some 2XKO. Unfortunately, whoops, I have to admit that I'm not really feeling that game. It's okay though. I've still got Grand Blue. Grand Blue is still there. It's not going anywhere. But I tried. I really did try. You like playing a few characters on it, on 2XKO? I couldn't really find a character I liked, to be honest. The few. Well, you know. Like, I kind of liked Vi, but like, also the game, I don't know, something about the game just doesn't, well, first off, my major complaint is that the game just has too many buttons for leverless. So I tried playing it on leverless first, and it just felt really, really bad. Have a good one while running. Sleep well, sleep well. It just did not feel good on the leverless. And so it was like, okay. At first I was just like, I don't like this game. And then I was like, no, I'm not giving it a fair chance. I need to play it, you know, the way it's intended to be played, which I think really it's intended to be played on a gamepad, or like a gamepad's maybe they're wrong, like a console controller, right? A pad, on a pad. You tried it on the Heraplex and it was a bit much. Gamepad did feel more comfortable. Yeah, exactly. But it's still kind of awkward. I don't know. I don't love the you know, I'm used to light, medium, heavy. That's normal for me. And even like a special input button is also still fine. 2 special buttons is weird. Like, if they had done a special input button where you were supposed to do the different directions, I'm at least used to that from Grand Blue. But they didn't do that. Except they sort of did with some characters, but not all of them. I don't know. It's done kind of strangely. And I don't love it. And okay, hang on. Yeah, it should be, here we go. Okay, Imperial Contractor should be behind Estate, right? Yeah, there we are. S1 and S2 and then S1 plus S2. Yeah, no, it's a lot. It's a lot. I don't love it. I don't love it. So there was that. And then I think to some degree, I think I'm finding that, like, I don't love tag fighters. I just don't. There's an element to it that just I don't love. And the idea in that game that, like, the assists just don't go away even after you've knocked out the character. Because, like, in a game like Dragon Ball, where it's like, okay, these assists are overwhelming, but I took out this character, so now that assist is not there anymore, I don't have to worry about them. Except in 2XKO, they are still there, and they can still keep using them, and it's just like, okay, sure. You messed up Bias Forward Punch Special so many times when you wanted to do your ground mash one. Yeah, no, that's the thing too. I definitely, like, the controls feel very imprecise to me. And, like, in a weird way, considering that the controls are supposed to be, like, simple, they don't feel very simple. They feel overly complicated. But they linger quite a bit in 2XKO than what you're comfortable with. Yeah, they linger. And again, just the fact that they, like, people still have access to them even after they're, like, KO'd. It's just like, oh, okay. So there is no, like, point at which it's like, oh, okay, now I'm just fighting this one character. Nope, you're still fighting the whole team. And that's strange to me. Where it shines is duos. I will admit that I did not... Why is Large City here? Okay, hang on. Oh, it's probably behind City. That's probably the idea. Right? That's probably the thought there. Okay. Let me see here. Where it shines. Yeah, I have not actually tried the game with duos, right? And it's possible that that's what I'm missing, right? I might just need to, like, try that as a thing, and maybe then it'll be like, oh, I get it. I understand why this is fun. You get them when the heart rate is... Yeah. That's probably a lot more fun, to be honest. Playing it solo... I mean, I guess, in a way, like, it would be fitting for a league-based fighter, right, to have the same kind of thing as I felt like with League of Legends, where it was like, solo queuing? No good. Play with a friend, or don't play at all, right? That would be, I guess, very fitting, right? We should get to see more of the Universe 6 Saiyans, while the Cab is considered Vegeta's counterpart. or who Goku says. I don't think they are supposed to be one-to-one counterparts, necessarily. I don't think that was ever the intention. Yeah, I don't think they ever said that. Like, I think people have ascribed that to those characters, but I don't think the series itself ever said that. Yeah, I don't think that was ever explicitly stated to be a thing. I don't think it was supposed to be. I think there is, I guess you could say that they kind of map onto those characters, kind of, but I don't think the intention was for them to be their respective counterparts. Because also, like, the way that the universes work in Dragon Ball, it's not like actual, like, alternate universes tend to work in media. It's not like there's another version of this character. Like, there was a cool hint that Vegeta reminded Kappa of their King of Saiyans. Sure, yeah. So, like, they're similar, right? But, like... But yeah, no, I don't think they were... I don't think Kappa was supposed to be, like, Vegeta, but from the other universe. I don't think that's how that was supposed to work. Same thing with, like, I don't think Cauliflower was supposed to be Goku, right? Similar, but not the same, right? Like, there's parallels, but, yeah. Okay, the trading ship. Good guys are not so friendly. Right, basically. Occasionally I do miss Dragon Ball FighterZ a little bit, and then I play it, and then I don't miss it anymore. Yeah, I think, like I said, I think there will be some element of me playing 2XKO on a very casual basis, and possibly, only with friends, right? Only in duos, right? It might just be the case where it's just like, okay, playing this solo is going to be frustrating, so I shouldn't do it. Are you still on thin ice? Talk to Smug. If you... Okay. I'm trying to think how to put this. No, you're not. But... However, I will just say, in general, not everything has to be talked about. We don't have to... Not everything has to be brought up. Not everything has to be talked about. You can let some thoughts just stay thoughts. You don't have to say them out loud or in text. And just keep in mind that certain topics are going to be a little sensitive. And we don't need to talk about them necessarily. Thank you for the hydrate and the posture check. But no, you are okay. I'm not about to ban you or anything. You're fine. Just keep in mind for the future that, like, I would say best practice, if I'm not already bringing a thing up, keep it on topic and you'll be fine. You are fine, Akira. There was an incident that happened last night, but it was a minor incident, not a major one. And we're off, and everybody is fine. Just making sure you really like these streams. You are fine. I'm not mad at you, and you're not in trouble. in any case, like I said, keeping things mostly on topic, we should be fine. There shouldn't be a problem. It's all good, just blemishing in the good vibes. I'm glad. But yeah, today was, like I said, doing some weekend errands. Going to Costco. Did some shopping. Went out to dinner. It was a good day. And you did not see your... Wait, do you work at Costco? I think coolers are going to get Canon status from time to time. I don't know. So, like, here's the thing. I'm not actually that... Well, I'm not, like, the most read up on Dragon Ball. Like, there's parts of the series that I enjoy. I really liked Daima. Well, I really liked the first half of Daima. You're mainly a floater for the moment since you're having to focus on your law exam. Oh my goodness. Best of luck with that. I hope it goes well. But yeah, my affinity for Dragon Ball mostly exists in the earlier parts, the original series, the earlier bits of Z. Part of what I like about Daima is it feels like a return to form for the more whimsical, like, mystical adventure, I suppose, that the original Dragon Ball felt like. Also, like, just, I feel like Dragon Ball can do some very, very good fights in it. Felt like what Toriyama wanted GT to be if he were to get his hand. A little bit, yeah. Kinda. Like, I think part of, like, there's parts of Dragon Ball where fights are very well choreographed, and the less grounded they become, the more it kind of gets away from that. That's my own opinion, really. Like, I know a lot of people like the more, like, aerial, like, beam struggle, like, flying about kinds of things, but, like, for what it's worth, I think the bar fight in the early bits of Daima is, like, one of the best choreographed, like, fights in recent memory for Dragon Ball. The demons were kind of random for most of the series for their org. Wait, let me see. With that being said, they've been hyping the demon realm up for so long. Yeah. Demons were kind of random for most of the series. Yeah, no, for sure. Like, one of the things I really liked about Daima was the idea of getting all of that, like, world building lore. I think was super, super cool. Also, kind of like the Namekians got to be demons again. I think that was cool. Like, just to kind of, like, bring it full circle and be like, oh yeah, actually no, they weren't aliens, they were demons the whole time. It's fine. They just left the demon realm and went to a different planet. So they're kind of both. Do wish Toa and Mira. I think that Toa was, like, referenced, I think, at one point. Wasn't she? I think. But, like, no, I liked the like, Demon King Piccolo. We didn't know where never. Right. Exactly. No. Well, and, like, um, there's a lot of the Demon Realm stuff that felt very Dragon Quest, which was kind of cool to me, because like I also do like a lot of, I realized I've been favoring this side the entire night. I should do a little bit on this side too. But like there's a lot of Toriyama's works outside of Dragon Ball that I think are really cool, and like you got to get a little bit more of like the fantasy vibes from Daima in terms of like, again, like Dragon Quest is a major one, especially because like the Demon Realms felt very like fantasy RPG-ish, right? So it just felt very much like I said, Dragon Quest, bits of Chrono Trigger, like some Sandland, like some of the things that are not Dragon Ball that Toriyama also contributed to that were just fun to see. Very whimsical this time around for sure. Yeah, of course, like the further into Daima you get, the more of like you do eventually kind of get the more Dragon Ball Z-ish kind of stuff, which I realized a lot of people were very, very happy to see happen. For me, it was sort of where the series sort of fizzled a little bit for me, but that's also very much my own tastes with it. Things you do for Chrono Trigger. Look, I desperately want an HD, what's it, like HD Pixel 2D, whatever, HD 2D, I think, like in the style of like Octopath Traveler. An HD 2D remake of Chrono Trigger would be amazing. I want that so bad. Like there are two SNES era RPGs I really want to see get remade, and I want to see them remade in very different ways, right? I want Chrono Trigger in that Octopath Traveler style would be amazing. Yes, exactly. Or like in the Dragon Quest style too would also be great. Like either of those would be amazing. And I want Earthbound done in the style of like the claymation figures, like doing them kind of almost sort of in like the Link's Awakening kind of thing, where it's all like very like plasticky and toy looking, except with like the claymation style models that those had. You're frothing at the mouth. It'll never happen. Like this, the second one, latter one's never gonna happen, unfortunately, because like they won't even release like Mother 3. But like, man, I want that so bad. I think that would be so cool. It would just be amazing, because it's just like it makes me think of like, so there's what's the name of that game? Oh, it's got a weird name. It's an indie RPG Maker game where everything's like in a claymation style, and like starts with an H, I think. Oh gosh, I can't remember the name. It's like super, super weird. But like it has that clay style in its like combat stuff, and like something like that, but less, a little bit more reined in, a little bit more grounded, is like very much what I would love that to be. I think that would be amazing. You really do appreciate when the devs do decide to add a layer of creative element to these games while not sacrificing anything. Yes, exactly. And like Earthbound was a very simplistic game. Like, I mean, it was sort of trying to follow in the Dragon Quest style of RPG, I think, only with a more contemporary setting. So honestly, I would very, very happily take a like a version of Earthbound done in the like Dragon Quest remake style. I think that would be great too. Honestly, I would be more than happy with that. But like I think that would be such a cool stylistic choice that they could make with it, of like just leaning into that, like the like clay model aesthetic that like the manual had for it, because it's like very, very unique. It's a very unique look, and you could do some very interesting things with like the combat, I feel like, with like having them be slightly animated in sort of that like vaguely uncanny way that claymation tends to be animated, especially because Earthbound at its core was very whimsical and very, you know, very whimsical, very silly, but also was always, I think, intended from the entire time to be very slightly off-putting. Like, very slightly off-putting. Which, you know, culminates in the very end of it when it becomes very off-putting. But, is it a horror game? The indie game you mentioned? No, it's not a horror game. Not really. I can look it up real quick. Hang on. Let me see here if I can... Where's my mouse? There it is. Hang on, give me 1 second. Let me see if I can look this up. Hang on. RPG Maker... Indie... Oh my gosh. Indie games... Is it Hylix? It is Hylix. It is Hylix. Hylix is the name of the game. Hylix, yeah. Hylix does a good job of doing some very interesting things with that, like, claymation style, but it's also, that game is extremely weird, so, like, I think grounding it a little bit more, because Earthbound is supposed to be weird. It's supposed to be weird and quirky and kind of off-putting, but it's not supposed to be that weird. So, like, kind of along those lines, but, like I said, more grounded. Nitro Adder, yes, yes. Very much, yes, that's true. Yeah, he was doing a lot of reviews of those games. I think that was where I found out about it. But you had a vague idea. Yeah, that's where I first heard about that game too. So, but yeah, no, those are my, like, my dream remakes, I guess we can put it that way, where, like, if I just was able to just, like, wave my hand and just be like, that's getting remade, that's what I would want. Those two. I feel like Chrono Trigger is more likely of the two. I mean, I don't think Earthbound will ever get remade. I don't think that's happening. Like, I think Nintendo is extremely done with that series. I don't think it's ever going to happen. Anything else with them again. As much as I would like it, like... Do you know something that I don't, Akira? Do you know something that I don't? Hang on. Hang on. Don't get my hopes up. Do not get my hopes up. Isn't Chrono Trigger Square Enix? Yes, it is. Well, and Square's been on, you know, on a roll with kind of doing remakes of their games, of, like, their older stuff. So that's why I think Chrono Trigger actually could happen. Like, that one actually could get a remake at some point. Earthbound gets re-releases every so often. Like, I imagine Earthbound will show up on the, if it's not already there, on the Nintendo Switch 2 online thing. Do they still have the same stuff that was available on NSO, the first one? Trying to put some genuine thought to it. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think Nintendo's interested at all in doing anything else with the Mother series, which is a shame, because that series is really imaginative and like thoughtful in a lot of ways. series. Mother 3 is like a very, very beautiful and very sad game. They really butchered it like they did with F-Zero. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Like, I don't... Like I said, Mother 3, like, man, it's been forever since I played that game, too. I need to play it again at some point. OG creator was done with the story by Mother 3. I mean, yeah, for sure. But also, we never got that actually released for reals here. But, like, that style of game... There was, you want this game? So, hey, look, pay for our online subscription. Yeah, right? Yeah. So I watched the direct last night. And I think the way I put it was a very mixed bag. There was some stuff that I was extremely happy to see. And then there was stuff that I was less impressed with, I guess. You don't think we can get Mother 3 here due to the music in the game? I mean, like, here's the thing about that. Like, yes, that is an element to it, but music can be replaced. Like, it can, right? What did I feel about it? So, there was some... So, the highlights for me were... the new Yoshi's Island game looks really good. I really like the stylistic choice they went with for it. Like, the kind of, like... picture book aesthetic to it is amazing. And Fire Emblem showing up erased everything else that I remembered about the direct. All I could think about was new Fire Emblem. So you were being honest with a friend, saying it felt like a 5.5 out of 10 because the peaks were good peaks, but you had to work through a lot of... Yes, I would agree with that. And, like, there was some genuine bullshit because, like, here's the thing, like, '35th anniversary for Mario. 5 years ago, they released Mario 3D All-Stars, right? Which included Mario Galaxy. 40th anniversary, they're re-releasing Mario Galaxy. And Galaxy 2, which admittedly was not in 3D All-Stars, but it's like, okay, you just did that, though. You literally just did that. And it's also, like, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I'm all for games being made available again. I really am. However, you just released this 5 years ago, and you're doing it again. And, like... let me see here. Hang on. You get the argument that they said you have to market the games for everyone, not just you. Sure. But, like, it's supposed to be a primary direct, not a... Yes. Agreed. Thank God you're not a Mario fan. You'd be so upset being... I mean, the thing is, like, there are ways to play those games without having to do that. Again, Mario 3D All-Stars literally released 5 years ago for the Switch. Like, and it's just like, okay. It's also, you know, it was also some bullshit back then where they were like, oh yeah, this is available for a year, and then we're taking it off the market. And it's just like, okay, whatever. I don't know. Nintendo is one of those things where, like, I like their games. I like their franchises. I like the things that they make. But they make some very strange decisions sometimes. And they are not the most not the most consumer friendly a lot of the time. Let me see here. Let me see. You expect new content, primarily first party. You've been very vocal. You're not. Yeah, I'm not either. Star Force Legacy Collection replaced with Mortal Kombat in USA Direct. I mean, I didn't. You'll preface you. A lot of people will think emulation to get those games, but if you want to look for it, yes, yeah, oh, of course. Like, you can still get a Wii. Like, I mean, you have to get it all secondhand, but I don't think the Wiis are like super. Because like I know some retro game, like secondhand stuff, is like ludicrously priced, but I don't think the Wii is one of them. I think the Wii is okay. Like, yeah, like, because like I know stuff like if you're trying to find stuff for like the NES, the Super Nintendo, the N64, maybe even the GameCube, I'm not actually sure about that one. Game Boy, like I know Game Boy games got ridiculous at one point. Like retro game collection is just, it is not cheap, but the Wii I think is a little exempt from that. Oh my gosh, I've got all this plastic sitting everywhere now. GameCube's games can be crazy depending on the games. Wii is not confined to that brain retro nostalgia. I mean, yeah, I guess it's too recent, so affordable consoles are still the Wii. GameCube will cost a little more than that. Yeah. But so you can get the original versions of Galaxy and Galaxy 2, I guess. That's an option. Very rare game. Yeah, for sure. Like, that's always going to be the case, unfortunately. It is unfortunate. And, like, I was not crazy about the fact that, like, we're announcing paid DLC for a game that's not even out yet. That's a little, like, I mean, obviously it was going to be a thing, but, like, I don't like that trend. It's like the game's not out yet, and we're already advertising the paid DLC for it. Why is it that every time you check I have prettier nails? Thank you, bud. I appreciate that. It's the same nail polish I had last week, though. If you don't already own Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, don't bother. It's like $275. That's insane. Oh my god. Absolutely insane. Yeah, that's nuts. Okay, hang on. Out of outer sleeves, so time to open another one of these. Do we have an opening on this yet already? Or do I need to? Yeah, I'm gonna cut this open. Give me 1 second. I've got you mesmerized with the pretty finger work. I'm glad to hear that, actually, because like one of my personal visual ASMR triggers is hand motions. So hearing that I'm doing a good job of that is good. It's nice. I like it. Good thing we have contingency methods. Yeah, that's wild, actually. Also, like, okay, here's the thing. The Virtual Boy thing is really funny. It was really funny. If it's anything, I'm the only ASMR streamer of any kind you'd stay to watch. Aw, Akira. Thank you. Oh my gosh. what was I saying? The Virtual Boy thing was like really funny. It reminded me of, look guys, look, it's the Virtual Boy. Yeah. So like the thing is that Nintendo was aware that the Virtual Boy was kind of a punchline. Like they knew. They've made jokes about it before. Like, wasn't it like Tomodachi Life or whatever had like a little like segment about it? Like they know it's a joke. So it's super weird to me that they would just like completely like straight-faced basically re-release it, and it's just like from a preservation standpoint it's like, okay, that's kind of neat, I guess, but like you have to do it with the add-on for $100? Really? I mean, I guess that you can do the cardboard version, but then it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, the time to do Virtual Boy game re-releases would have been on the 3DS. Because you could do the 3D effect at that point without needing to stick your face directly against, like, a glaring red screen, right? Wait, the cardboard one's $40? Are you serious? I missed that entirely. Are you serious? The old man going, where's the game coming out? No, yeah, like, it's absurd. Like, it felt like a joke. It felt like a joke, but they were being serious. And I'm just like, it was one of those things that it started out, I was like, when they were like, oh, Virtual Boy games coming to the NSO. And I was like, that's really funny. I'm kind of down for this. That's cool that these games are available. And then they were like, here's this $100 piece of plastic that you have to put the thing in and shove your face up against. When not the entire reason, but one of the major reasons why everybody hated the Virtual Boy on release originally was that you had to stick your face up against a piece of plastic that hurt your eyes. And it's just like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't get it. What are they doing? At that point, they're just shitposting. I mean, basically. I don't know what they were thinking. I really don't. Whoops. Oh my gosh. The real question is, does Nintendo want to pay for your eye damages from right? I mean, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Whoever said that was a shit post is a real one. I mean, it genuinely, like, on some level feels like the kind of thing that should be a joke. It should be a joke. Except it's not. And it's just like, I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't. But, you know, I don't know. Like I said, that's the thing. Like, this was a direct that had some high highs and some low lows. Kind of across the board, right? That's just a thing. Okay, the attendant maids, I think, should be... Are they up in the front here? Let me see. Apprentice maid. Attendant maid, yeah, okay. Since it's already past you're ready for Virtual Wireline. It's genuinely a good game. Like, this is the thing. There were some really good games trapped on the Virtual Boy. So, like, it honestly didn't... That's why, like, initially, when it was just like, oh, okay, these games are gonna be on the NSO, it was like, sure, okay, that makes sense. Absolutely release them. It's still weird to have done this on the Switch and not the 3DS, but, you know, it's fine. And then they were like, well, you have to have this peripheral. And then it suddenly stopped making sense. So, I don't know. Let me see. Absolutely baffled at the Megastone distribution methods. Just play ranked seasons. Yeah, no. Yeah, that's not good. I'd like to see more megas that were not from Kanto. Yeah, like, I don't have strong opinions on the megas. Like I said last night, they look like mega evolutions, and like, I didn't see any of them that I was like, oh, this looks bad, so I was just like, okay. But the acquisition method is real dumb. It's really stupid, but it's just like, I don't know, like, you had some really good things in that direct, and you had some really bad things in it, and I just don't, yeah, it was what it was. Only took the Kalos starters 12 years to get their megas. Oof. Oof. Let me see here. General store. Right there. Okay. But yeah, it's definitely a thing. But Fire Emblem. I admittedly, there was a brief moment of sadness when I looked at it and was like, this is definitely a Three Houses follow-up and not an Engage follow-up. I mean, not that I expected Engage to get a follow-up, but like, design cues is definitely taking from Three Houses, but I know that was the one everybody liked, so. But, like, I do kind of like that it's like a mid-step in between the two, it feels like. It doesn't, it feels a little bit more anime aesthetic than Three Houses directly, without being like the full-blown, like, thing that Engage did. When you saw her on that throne. Yeah. Do we have fizzy water tonight? We did. It's been poured. You need to hydrate. I like the new designs. I also like the new designs, honestly. Like, here's the thing. My problem with Three Houses was never the art style. That was never my problem with Three Houses. And to be clear, I don't really have a giant problem with Three Houses. But yeah, no, I'm sorry. It was. We did do the fizzy water earlier. It was actually fairly early in stream. My problem with Three Houses was always the pacing, and not really the art style. Granted, I do like Engage's art style considerably more, but also I'm a giant weeb, so your problem with Three Houses? Yes, absolutely. Like, the pacing of that game in the first half is way too slow for a game that expects you to play it multiple times. And because of that, I played it once. And then, well, I guess more like 1.5 times, I guess. I don't know. I never really finished my second playthrough. Because it was just like, the start of that game is basically functionally identical. It's not identical, but it's close enough to identical that it may as well be identical, no matter what route you take. You're glad you have a connection like me when it comes to Engage, because everyone... I was actually, it's weirdly enough, I was in a conversation with people in the Meg character Discord for Grand Blue, for the character that's not actually out yet. And like apparently like everybody in the Meg Discord loves Engage, and I was just like, oh my god, I have found my people. Apparently it's all of the people who want to play the Shark Girl. So even though you at least get to yeah, like the thing is like, so I love the aesthetic of that game. I completely understand people don't like the story. I get it. I actually like the story, but I don't think the story is deep. Like, I'm not about to claim that the story is like amazing or anything like that, but I enjoyed it. And the gameplay and the aesthetic of the game is really good. I mean, I guess the aesthetic of the game is going to be subjective, right? People either like it or they don't. I mean, I didn't realize until people pointed it out that like part of where that art style aesthetic comes from is the art director on the game, the like art design director on that game, the character designer, is the same artist who did several Hololive VTubers. So that tracks with why Alir kind of looks kind of VTuber-y. But I like that. I don't know. In a sense, you get it. Sometimes it does clash a bit too much with the aesthetic. That's fair. It didn't hit you as hard because it reminds you of the... Right. Like, I don't know. I think it's fine. The game is fine. But I worry a little that the lesson that got taken, because the game didn't sell that well, is that 3 houses good, Engage bad, and that they're going to throw out everything that they did with Engage in favor of everything that, you know, in return to everything that existed in 3 houses. And 3 houses was a good game, but it wasn't perfect. And I think Engage improved on a lot of things. But because nobody bought it, I worry that they're going to throw that out. Maybe I shouldn't be that worried. Maybe it's going to be okay. But, again, my problem with 3 houses was never the art style. And it wasn't really even the way that the game played. It was always about the pacing. And a big part of that pacing has to do with having to do the school stuff and the 3 routes, or not 3 routes, the multiple routes thing. It's mainly just the GBA and 3DS purists complaining. I mean, for sure. Yeah. I don't know. I also just, it was also one of those things that, like, it always bummed me out that, like, because I really enjoyed the characters in that game, and going to, like, anime conventions afterwards and being like, wait, what? Why aren't any artists drawing these characters? It's all still 3 houses characters. Nobody's doing anything with these characters, and that always disappointed me. But okay, wait. Where's the Imperial Estate? Hang on. It's got to be in here somewhere. Okay, Adventure, Alchemist, Apprentice Maid, Ballroom, Bank, Battering Ram, City Development, Large City, Cultivation Order, Curse Witch, Curse, Duke, Farming Village. Am I missing something? Oh, no, there's the estate. Okay. Yunaka, my beloved. Yeah, right? Your favorite farm is still Shadows of Valentia. Wait, Shadows of Valentia. Which one is that? Did somebody say alchemy? No, like the alchemist. So here, let me see. Do I have the... Oh, the alchemist is further down in here, I think. I really like the artwork on this card. It's good. It's very good. Booby science lady. Echoes. Okay, okay. Yeah. No, I know which one you're talking about. Emblem Echoes Chat. Yes, yes. I never actually finished that game. I should go back and finish it at some point. I really liked it. I don't remember why I didn't finish it. I think it was at one of those points in time where, like, I think other things came out and I got distracted and I never finished it. But it was really good. I really liked it. Remake of Gaiden on the NES, yeah. But yeah, no, I did enjoy it a lot. At least of what I played. I think it was really cool. So yeah. Do I have a playlist or this is just on autoplay? It is a playlist, but it is on autoplay, so basically I looked up royalty-free lo-fi. May you ask for it? Yeah, absolutely. I will gladly send it to you. If you played the game like 3 times just for 2 characters alone, just to see how fast you could speedrun it. Almost got this. All sleeved now, which is nice. Gone are the days of lunatic mode. Wait. Is the new game not gonna have it? Oh, got it. Or if it's added. Wait, did Engage not have a lunatic mode? I mean, that was never how I engaged with those games. No pun intended. So, I mean, I don't know if it did or not, but... Oh my gosh, I just realized it's like 12:30. Midnight kind of came and went. But Lunatic felt like normal or hard mode for the older games. Ah, I see, I see. I'm gonna get to the end of these cards here and then we might look for who we raid out to. Cause yeah, it's like almost a full half hour beyond when I would normally end these streams. I just got caught up in chatting. But it's okay. It's alright. I've been having a good time chatting with you guys. And it's given me the chance to get these guys sleeved. The one chapter where they just straight up rob your rings. Yeah.
Sleep.
I don't know. It was one of those things where it's like, the way I put it was like, yes, the game story is a lot more shallow. But like, I don't know, man. I'm here for a fire, like what if Fire Emblem was a magical girl anime? That's basically what Engage was. And I want that. I like that. I like that a lot. And like, yeah. That was the thing too, is like, I don't know, it's not like Awakening, which is like the game everybody agrees like saved the franchise. It's not like Awakening wasn't tropey as hell too, right? Story-wise, Awakening's story wasn't super deep. You were mortified that the enemy play warped, right? Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine. Like, I don't know. I'm confused why... I'm a little confused why why Engage is, gets as much hate as it does for its story specifically, when, like, again, I don't think the 3DS games weren't particularly deep stories either. I think that's why it's all like a give her back, right? They tried something new. I think it was more just that, like, people wanted more Three Houses, and it wasn't Three Houses, so. But regardless, I am excited for more Fire Emblem no matter what. I just like the series. I think it's very good. And the characters in this one look really cool. I like the character designs. It looks like it's gonna be good. And I'm cool with that. So, also, like, yeah, like, adult Sothis is pretty hot. I'm not gonna lie. Look, you know what I'm talking about. We're on the same page there.
And I smoked some and I passed out.
But yeah, let's see here. Cards. Almost to the end of this stack here. At which point I do still have an entire stack of the common cards to sleeve, but like I said, that can be a thing I do off stream. So magical fingers and magical shiny sleeved cards. I'm glad you're enjoying the fingers. Again, I'm just like, it's a thing that I get a lot of enjoyment out of watching. Other people do too. So, like, it being a thing that you guys are liking makes me very happy. Before we close the curtains, may you ask for one small self request? Of course. What do you need? What's that then? Can I do it with this?
At 14, I like to get high, skip school, fight.
Love it. Okay. Alright. But I think that might start to wind us down here. So let me start looking at who we might send you guys off to, because it is 12:30 now. So give me one moment here. I'm gonna come back over here. Alright, everybody. Thank you for hanging out. It was a lot of fun doing this. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Let me see here. Been a while since you got to hang out like this in a while. Aw, it was fun having you, for sure. You enjoyed it a lot. I'm really, really glad to hear that. Let me see here. Let me see which of our ASMR friends are currently doing stuff. Let me see here. Jay is live, and we're in a new, well, we're not in a new month, but it's been over a month now since we've rated him. Hopefully you're blessed to find some time like this again. Absolutely. Oh, so let me real quick before let me do this real quick. Go ahead and pull up our schedule for next week here. So here we are, right here. So I'll be back on Tuesday with some Silksong, and we're going to be playing Silksong on Thursday as well, because I like the game a lot, and there's a lot to do. She's gonging, yep. So Silksong on Tuesday and Thursday. And we'll be doing some more Majora's Mask on Saturday. And next week, Sunday, we'll be doing some cozy gaming for the ASMR slot with some Animal Crossing. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. So, oh my goodness, I hope that wasn't audible. Let me see here. I just need to double check here. We have a couple people we could rate into. Let me see here. Who have I not? We definitely rated Minari more recently. Minari is very lovely. Love her to bits. She's an awesome, awesome ASM artist. But we did rate her a lot more recently. So, gonna be trying out Crossworlds demo? Yes, I will. We'll be nerding out about yes. But yeah, I don't. As far as I'm aware, that demo is not a timed demo, so there will be time to do that. But Silksong is now, so I think we're gonna go ahead and raid into Jay, because Jay is lovely. I will tolerate being called. I wonder, have I made it back up to second best sucrose, or am I still third best sucrose to Jay? I guess we'll find out. You can make the Majora's Mask cream. Absolutely. Oh my gosh, that's great. I'm glad to hear that. But okay, let me go ahead and start this up. Let's find out. Let's find out where I rank among all of the sucroses for Jay tonight. Maybe I've made second again, so let's find out. Those of you coming with me on this raid, we do have a raid message. If you are subscribed and have access to the emotes, it is this. If you're not subscribed, that's totally fine. I've got you covered with this one instead. Let me go ahead here and pull up Jay's. Let me do that real quick. Okay, so here is Jay's channel, just in case the raid leaves you guys behind. I know it happens sometimes, but hopefully it brings everybody along, so it's not necessary. And until next time, you guys, I hope you have a great rest of your night and a great start to your week, and I will see you next time. Have a good night, chat. Sleep well. Hang tight for that raid. Good night, chat. Good night.